Hello, deep thinkers, a hearty welcome back to our channel. Today, we're going to crack open the art of saying no. It's a simple word, yet it's often the hardest one to utter. We'll explore how this two-letter word can transform your relationships, family dynamics, and even your professional life. So, tighten your seatbelts as we dive into real-life scenarios that will challenge your comfort zones. Prepare to embark on a journey of emotional intelligence and witty humor, as we navigate the waters of saying no. Ever been in a relationship where you felt your boundaries were constantly being crossed? In the world of romance, the word no can often seem like a foreign language. It's like we're all playing a game of charades, where we're constantly guessing what our partner wants and needs, often putting their desires above our own. But what if we took a moment to consider our own needs and desires? What if we allowed ourselves the freedom to say no? Imagine you're at a restaurant, and your partner orders the spiciest dish on the menu. You're not a fan of spicy food, but you go along with it to avoid looking like a party pooper. You spend the rest of the evening gulping down water, your mouth on fire. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Now what if you had simply said no to the spicy dish? Sure, your partner might have been surprised, but at least you wouldn't have spent the evening in gastronomic distress. Or consider this. Your partner is a morning person and wants to start every day with a 5-mile run at sunrise. You, on the other hand, are a night owl, and the idea of breaking a sweat before breakfast sounds about as appealing as a root canal. But you lace up your running shoes anyway because you don't want to disappoint your partner. Again, what if you had said no? In these situations, saying no isn't about being difficult or unaccommodating. It's about respecting your own boundaries and preferences. It's about being honest with yourself and your partner. And trust me, honesty is a lot sexier than a forced smile while you're gasping for breath at 6 in the morning. We often equate saying no with negativity or rejection, but it's not about that. It's about asserting your own needs, your own wants, and your own boundaries. It's about understanding that your happiness and comfort are just as important as your partner's. So, next time you find yourself in a situation where you want to say no, take a deep breath, muster up your courage, and just say it. Remember, saying no doesn't make you a bad partner. It makes you an honest one. Family. The people we can't live with, yet can't live without, and sometimes, the hardest people to say no to. We all know the scenario. You're at a family gathering and your aunt insists you have another slice of her famous apple pie. You're already full to bursting, but you nod and accept another helping because you just can't say no. Or perhaps your brother asks you to babysit his kids on your only free evening, and before you know it, you're knee-deep in diapers and nursery rhymes. Saying no in a family context can be incredibly challenging. We often feel a sense of obligation, a desire to keep the peace, or a fear of causing offense. But remember, saying no doesn't mean you love your family any less. It's about setting boundaries and acknowledging your own needs. Let's consider the parent-child dynamic. Parents, it's essential to teach your children that it's okay to say no. This empowers them to make their own choices and fosters a sense of self-worth. Children, remember that asserting your no is a valuable life skill. It's not about rebellion, but about voicing your own needs and opinions. Now, sibling relationships. These bonds can be some of the strongest and most enduring in our lives, but they can also be rife with expectations and obligations. So, siblings, the next time you're asked to do something you're not comfortable with or don't have time for, remember that no is a complete sentence. You don't need to justify it or feel guilty about it. Saying no to family isn't about being selfish or unkind. It's about self-care and self-respect. It's about understanding that you have the right to choose what's best for you. So the next time you're faced with a situation where you need to assert your no, remember this. Saying no to family isn't a rejection of them, but an affirmation of your own needs. Workplace, the battlefield where saying yes often seems like the only survival strategy. Ah, the workplace. It's a world unto itself where saying yes can sometimes feel like the only way to keep your head above water. The pressure to agree, to conform, to always be on board can be overwhelming. But let's pause for a moment and consider the power of the word no. Picture this. You're already swamped with tasks and your boss walks in with another urgent project. You want to scream no, but instead, you find yourself nodding and adding yet another task to your never-ending to-do list. Sound familiar? Or how about those meetings that seem to stretch on for eternity? You know the ones where the clock seems to freeze in place and every minute feels like an hour. You want to say no to another pointless meeting, but instead you smile and make a note in your calendar. But my friends, it doesn't have to be this way. No is not a dirty word. It's a statement of your boundaries, a declaration of your worth. Saying no doesn't mean you're not a team player. It means you value your time, your mental health, and your ability to produce quality work. It's like the old saying goes, you can't pour from an empty cup. If you're constantly saying yes to everything, eventually, you'll burn out. And let's be honest, a burnout employee is about as useful as a chocolate teapot. So the next time your boss tries to pile on the work or you're invited to yet another meeting that could have been an email, remember the power of no. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but with practice, it gets easier. And remember, no doesn't always mean never. It could mean not now, not this way, or not without more resources. It's a negotiation, not a rejection. Saying no at work isn't about being difficult, it's about being assertive and setting boundaries. So we've seen the power of no. But how do we actually say it without feeling guilty or rude? Well, let's dive right in. The first step in mastering the art of no is understanding the value of your time. Your time is precious, my friends, and it's important to prioritize your needs. Imagine your time as an exquisite painting. Every brushstroke is a commitment. You can't add every color without turning the canvas into a muddy mess. Sometimes you need to say no to preserve the beauty of your masterpiece. Now the second step, and this is crucial, practice saying no in front of a mirror. Yes, you heard it right, practice. It may feel silly at first, but trust me, it's a game changer. The more you say it, the more natural it becomes. You're not being rude, you're setting boundaries, and that's beautiful. Next, let's talk about the sandwich method. This is a classic approach used in communication, and it's as tasty as it sounds. Start with a positive statement, insert your no, and then end with another positive statement. For instance, I'd love to help you, but I can't commit to this right now. I'm sure you'll do great. See? You've just said no without sounding like a villain. Lastly, remember to be firm yet respectful. There's a thin line between being assertive and aggressive. Always maintain eye contact, use a calm tone, and keep your emotions in check. It's not what you say, but how you say it that counts. And here's a bonus tip. It's okay to take time to respond. You don't have to say yes or no on the spot. Say, let me think about it, and give yourself the gift of time. Remember, no is not a negative word. It's a word that empowers you to live authentically. So go ahead, practice your no, and watch as your life transforms into that exquisite masterpiece you've always dreamed of. Well, we've journeyed through the realms of relationships, family, and work, exploring the art of saying no. It's been an enlightening adventure, don't you think? Let's jog our memory of the key takeaways. We delved into the power of no in relationships, where we learned that setting boundaries is crucial for a healthy partnership. It's not about being stubborn or unyielding. It's about respecting your own needs and values. Then, we navigated the familial seas, where the ability to say no to parents or children can be a real game changer. It teaches our loved ones that we have our own needs, and in turn, we teach them to respect others' needs too. In the workplace, the no can be a powerful tool for preserving our mental health and ensuring we aren't overburdened. It's not about shirking responsibilities, but about understanding our limits and ensuring we can give our best in what we commit to. Finally, we looked at how to learn this art of saying no. It's a skill like any other that needs practice. It's about recognizing when it's necessary and delivering it respectfully and assertively. Remember, saying no is an act of self-respect and emotional intelligence. Keep practicing it, and soon it will become second nature. It's not easy, and it's not always comfortable, but it's crucial for your well-being and the quality of your relationships. Until next time, keep thinking deeply,